I wish I recorded more of it. But back then, I was ashamed. I didn't know when I was ever gonna get out of it, you know. Just a bit of body weight workout, I can trigger the right muscles to get me the right shape that I have been looking for. So whatever that you see, all this reaching down lower, you can anticipate like a long back into this weekly fat value gap. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So right now we are in the season, we're in the holiday season, so I'm just making sure that I'm feeling festive. And recently I was hosting my friends over for a little Christmas party, which is why I got this little reindeer horns. And just in case one day I forget when I film this, I would know it's Christmas time. So anyway, it's already 26th December, and finally we're back for another video. So before we get started, this thought has been in my mind for quite a while, so I thought like I would just record it down for anyone else who's out there watching this, is to stop feeling ashamed of yourself. So I feel like I was recording myself, you know, either in the gym or just a B-roll of me doing something, for example, trading or looking at my charts, etc. And usually I use all these videos to create content such as my IG reel with like trading information so that people can get a nice, you know, like background along with the ideas that I want to share. And that is what I find a lot of love doing. Like when I do things like this, I am the one who gets the most benefit out of it because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy replaying the music that I've chose with the scene I've chosen and the caption that I put in. So it's just me in flow, feeding myself over and over this feeling that I want to get and be in majority of the time. So it's actually a state of mind. Sometimes I would overthink it, right? Like me recording this, is anyone else watching? Like what do they think of me recording this? Once in a while there will be one or two comments that come my way. My vibe wasn't able to block it out in time, but it would reach me and it would sound something like, oh, why are you so obsessed with yourself? And then I would have this sense of like a shame or like guilt on, you should never be embarrassed about where you're at because your intentions are pure, right? And look at yourself only in your purest intention. If what you're doing is aligned with you, it doesn't matter what anyone else sees in your action because it is a clearer representation of them than it is for you. And to the younger Joyce that is listening to this right now, and something I wish I had done on my journey on the way towards here, is to record more of where I began. If I could show you guys, you know, like the house I grew up in Singapore, when I was like 13 all the way to 17, before I got into the airlines, I was in a house full of people and we all don't have our personal space. We don't have our individual rooms. We share one computer in the living room, and I would remember waking up at 3 a.m. just so that I could play games and skip school. But I wish that I had way more recording of that journey because it would show me how far I've come, and I wish that I could show you guys as well, like all the limiting belief that I had when I was growing up due to my circumstances, and how much reading has helped me, or like journaling or tracking my progress has helped me to move forward into who I am today. I wish I recorded more of it, but back then I was ashamed. I didn't know when I was ever gonna get out of it, you know. At that point of time when you're a bit younger, you don't make your own money, you don't know what your potential is. You think that that is the way it's gonna be forever, but it's not true. You are always moving forward. And upon getting my first job, which is to fly for the airlines, getting to enjoy 5-star hotels all over the world, my personal space finally when I'm in a new country, I wish I recorded more of that as well. So anyway, if you want to, you can still find some of my old videos on my YouTube channels about 5-6 years ago, where I was making videos at each destination. The one where I did a book review by Stephen Hawking is still out there, and the other one where I did about cabin crew secrets is still out there as well. And yeah, here's just a reminder to never be ashamed of where you are, because you will always get out of it. If you're not happy where you are, just make sure that every day the decisions that you make are taking you one step closer to where you want to be, and never feel like you're not moving forward, because the little steps every day will compound. Just be the same person, just add like 3 to 5 more years of that same habits, and you'll see big change. And even for my gym journey, even for my body, I was working out way harder when I was younger, but right now 12 years in, I am just doing the bare minimum at the gym. Sometimes I don't even complete my entire workout, but my body it shows up in the way that I want it to be, because I have built this 12 years of mind-muscle connection, that just a bit of body weight workout, I can trigger the right muscles to get me the right shape that I have been looking for. So even if it feels like nothing is happening right now, just know that you are getting better, you're getting sharper, you're getting way more in tune with the things that you want to become, you're getting closer to that. So if you're ever feeling ashamed, right, it's because you're not confident. And why are you not confident? It's because you're not doing the things every day to get to where you want to be it health-wise, wealth. Are you journaling down where you are at and where you want to be? Are you making yourself accountable for your own habits? Are you the kind of person who says you're going to do something and then do them? Because you might think that canceling plans with your friends is like, it's fine, my friends are understanding. But the thing is, you have to answer to yourself. Ultimately, if you're constantly the person who says you want to do something and then you don't do it, you are not going to trust yourself. And that's why you're ashamed of where you're at, because you are holding yourself accountable and you're not proud of who you are. So if you ever feel ashamed, just start getting more confident. And how to become more confident is by doing the things that you say you would do. So if this part of the video triggers any form of like inspiration for you to want to take more action into where you're going to go, check out my journaling video on how to set goals and how to stay accountable for them. So the video title is called How Journaling Changed My Life, and I split up all my daily goals into 4 topics, which is your health, wealth, heart, and soul. So other than health and wealth, which is so easily achievable, like read more books, do more sales, make more money, or like going to the gym, eat healthy, there are other things like your heart and soul that it's not so easily measurable. And if you don't put effort into achieving them, you would just have like years pass by before you realize that you haven't been spending time with your family, you haven't been getting more in tune with yourself, you haven't been eager to learn about your spiritual side, and then you're just full of money but you're not happy. So check out that video, and now let's get into the chart part. I hope this video so far has given you some psychological part of trading, and that is what I'm so grateful when it comes to trading for, is the time freedom that it gave me to think about all these other aspects of my life. So it's Boxing Day, Christmas was yesterday, but I was doing the same thing. I was just gymming, studying, reading a book, and then spending time with my loved ones, just like how any other day would go. And I love it. I love that every day is Christmas. So if this is the state that you want to be in as well, make sure to start tracking yourself. So basically, I was taking a break for December, but right now I'm just going to do a chart out for what I anticipate to see in 2025. So I want to touch on what I was looking at the beginning of December before I took a break away from the markets and started outsourcing my trades into a copy trader, which so far actually surprised me. Like, I think within 2 weeks, it was making like 100% profits. And then there was a 25% fee that is taken out. So if you guys want to know more about it, check out my copy trading video. I actually did an update while I was still overseas in Thailand, just enjoying a festival. So that was nice. It wasn't a big amount, but it was just like a good amount for me to feel like, wow, I'm not doing anything in the markets, but it's still profiting. Okay, so I just want to show you guys what I was looking at the beginning of the month. We have this fair value gap, right? So when price opened, it was up here. And then this entire gap to me is price inefficiency, which I would like to see price returning back into. I marked it out for all of them, including the 50% of the wick as well. So what you can see is October's candle is red, right? So against everything else, this would be like the order block on the monthly time frame that price is interested to reach back into when December comes around. So November gave us the body, and then December came around, and this was the fair value gap. So I was anticipating for price to reach down into it, right? And then for the opening price for NQ, it was down here. There wasn't much of an opening gap, and you can see right now on the ending of December, price is moving far ahead above of its opening price. And then last but not least, we have Dow Jones that opened up here. I marked out October high and 50% of this wick, and you can see that Dow Jones was just moving lower the entire month. So to me, Dow Jones is still the one that is sort of leading the pack, and I would like to see after this Santa rally, because right now it's December, everything is pushing, pumping, all the Black Friday sales and all the Christmas sales, right? We have our S&P 500 and our NASDAQ pumping up. And then I'm looking for some sort of retracement when January comes around and 2025 comes around. So here is the weekly chart. I'm just gonna clean up some of the stuff that has been tested already. So I'll still leave the previous month's high for October on NQ because it has not yet tapped on it. But we have this crazy move on 16 September for all three assets. This is a big red candle, and this is also, a pause point for the rally, right? So price is going higher and higher, and then this red candle is like a break. So if price continues moving higher and retrace back, I can see this as the stopper. And if price goes lower and come back up here, I can see this as the stopper as well for it to go even lower. So it's very beautiful. So I'm just gonna mark out previous week's low, previous week's high, previous month's high. What month is this? November. Okay, so look at this previous month's high for November on NQ. You can see that there's a fair value gap that created after. So this to me would be a really good support area. So weekly bullish fair value gap, and this was the area that NQ tapped on. So let me find matching ones. So whenever I see things like this, I would like to see the same for all three markets. Okay, so we have a nice weekly bullish fair value gap as well over here, and look how the bodies respected it, even though it pushed all the way into 50% of October's week high. It still came back up into this, right? So one way you can use this is that you expect price on the weekly time frame to respect this weekly bullish fair value gap. So when you go in down to the smaller time frame, just know that when the wick closes, this entire wick's candle closes, you just want it to be above this weekly fair value gap. So whatever that you see, all this reaching down lower, you can anticipate like a long back into this weekly fair value gap. So this is another way to use power of 3 by mixing the different time frames. So smaller time frame, you know that it wouldn't look as clean compared to the weekly time frame. So during the hourly, the daily, or the 4 hours, you could look for potential long back into this weekly fair value gap. And then if you're shorting, you can look at all this for targets. For example, your previous month's high or your 50% down here. Okay, and then with the same time frame, we do not have bullish fair value gap. Instead, we have a bearish fair value gap. Okay, so this is something I would look out for if price was to return up here. Okay, so now let's go into the smaller time frame. I do want to see what happens in this red candle right here on 11 November. So let's go into daily time frame. 11 November is this entire move down here. Okay, so we have multiple bearish candles for all of them. Yeah, like this. Okay, so from here I can see that bearish candle on the weekly, we have overlapping fair value gap, right? So what you see here is this fair value gap matches with this fair value gap, which match with this one right here. And this is where price is currently testing on. So this would be a weekly bearish fair value gap. Even though it's bearish here, bullish here, bearish here, it's right now bearish because price is still underneath it. Okay, so let me look at that area again and see what else I can find. Yeah, so here we have a fair value gap, and it's tested a lot of times before it's pushed heavily above, leaving another fair value gap up here, and then tested again. Wait, this is daily, so it's daily bullish fair value gap, and this is daily bearish fair value gap. I think it's this one. Yeah, and let's see. Okay, so we have a pretty one over here. All right, so I'm just studying price right now. Like, isn't this beautiful? Imagine if you knew it all along, like that price would reverse here, price would tap on this one, and then price would tap on this slightly before dropping lower. It would be nice. Okay, so now we have this big gap over here. This is new day opening gap. So what we can see right now is ES is testing this new day opening gap. It's sitting right at the 50%. And then NQ is also testing it out. New day opening gap. And last but not least, we have this new day opening gap. Okay, very pretty. So what day, how many days we have? So right now it's Thursday, and then we have Friday, and then next Monday and Tuesday we have 30th and 31st for trading. So let me just go quickly to the news. So not much news for the week. We have, yesterday was the US bank holiday. Today we have unemployment claims. I'm just gonna open up maybe the orange folder and see what else. Okay, crude oil inventory tomorrow. Let's see next week. Bank holiday on 1st Jan as well. Unemployment claims. Yeah. So there isn't any NFP Friday for this first week. And not much news as well. So, okay. I won't be showing up much to the markets, but I would still want to just draw out some points that I'm looking at that I would like to see price return into. Alright, so let me just draw out my mind the points that I want to see, and then when time comes around, then I will watch how price reacts to that levels. Okay, so with what I know now, I would like to see DJ going a bit higher. This would be the best case scenario for it to reach into before dropping lower and taking out previous month's high. So it could reverse anywhere between here and drop lower. Ultimately, my sentiment is that it might take out November high. And then for NQ, it has tested on this new day opening gap. I do want to see it drop a bit lower. And then for ES, right, it's testing on new day opening gap as well. I'm also anticipating for it to drop lower. But before it drops lower, I do want to see some form of like divergence above the market. So either one of them, so my stand right now is bearish, right? But either one of them, I would like to see them taking out their previous high. So something like this. For example, if NQ takes out the previous high and then drops lower, but ES did not, just 4 shots before dropping lower. And then you can see here, we already have a divergence with YM, your Dow Jones. So what I mean is, you see we have high, lower high, higher high, lower high. And know that this wick is still playing out, right? So this might change, the recent candle might change, but here we have high, higher high, higher high, lower high. So compared to the one before, we have high, lower high, higher high, and then current. This is high, higher high, higher high, current. And then for YM, we have high, lower high, current. Right? So this is already a bit of a divergence, but let's see how long more it wants to give us before it does something new. Okay. So this is all that I can see right now. I hope you guys gained something from today's video. Anyway, let me know any of your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of it, I would see you guys in 2025. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and bye!